Generally, before I make any decisions in life, I ask myself one important question. What would Ryan Lochte do?
Where's the Lochte edge?
I've always wanted to be a world-class idiot and swimmer with his own reality show, and everyone knows Lochte is so fast because he shaves his whole body. After all, that's how marlins are literally able to soar. As an early bloomer, I've always been self-conscious about body hair. Puberty was frightening to me growing up, to the extent that I had denial that I would even go through it.
Oh, there you are.
Not only did puberty strike me as a loss of innocence, but the idea of some unknown yogurty substance shooting out of my peen was scary as shit. When puberty would come, I assumed it would all happen at once. You know, I'd wake up from a dream where I was banging The Secret Life of Alex Mack.
And since then, nothing's been the same.
Only to find I had a full beard and a hyper tolerance to lactose.
Hi, Tom. I'm waiting.
Milk. It does a body good.
So when I started growing pubic hair in 4th grade, I was mortified. I was 9 years old. 9! Every conversation with my parents and all the sex ed classes I had taken all talked about puberty being something that happened around age 13. I remember the moment when I had to clearly confront the pubic hair issue and how embarrassing it was.
Just like mommy, one day you will get pubic hair.
I don't like your pubic hair.
My family had gone on vacation to Hawaii, and my dad and I were supposed to change in the bathroom while my mom and my sister were changing out in the hotel room. I told my dad I would wait for him to be done, which confused him. It was never a big deal for us to change together in the same room.
I'm going to measure your penis, and then I'm going to measure my penis, and we're going to see whose is bigger. Stupid game anyway.
But the truth was, I didn't want him to know that I had begun to grow pubic hair. I felt ashamed of all the changes I was going through, that they were happening so much earlier than I had been anticipated. And believed I must have done something shameful to bring that about. Soon after the pubic hair came, so too did the nipple hair. Oh God, did the nipple hair come. By 6th grade, I developed really lengthy nipple hair, like 4-inch long nipple hair. The thing is, there wasn't hair anywhere else. By the way, this is 7.5 inches. There wasn't hair anywhere else on my chest. So it looks like I was sporting some kind of like hairy titty tassels.
Twirl it, guys, twirl it.
And then once PE classes became mandatory, this daily dread of having to change my shirt with the other boys was nerve-wracking. As we changed, I'd hold the outgoing shirt against my chest to block the view of the other kids as I tried my best to maneuver my Roy Cloud Thunderbolts PE t-shirt into place.
You can never be nude. I understand more than you'll never know.
Days when the shirt would slip, my classmates would snicker and make comments, and it was just a moment I'd never looked forward to. After months of feeling like the only one with nappy tit floss, I decided to take matters into my own hands. My own retarded, tweezer-wielding hands. Because when you think, what's the least painful way to remove nipple hair? Using the pliers from a Swiss Army knife your grandpa gave you is the first thing that comes to mind. And at age 11, I was officially a manscaper. But it didn't end with the nipples. Areolas, to be fair. I remember freshman year of high school, sitting in the group discussion for our English class, and I was with Anna and Kevin, and Anna was just looking fondly at Kevin and talking about how beautiful his eyebrows were. And then she turned to me and was like, I immediately went home that night and started plucking my bushy, nearing on unibrow eyebrows. And there's a reason why I still have tweezers on my desk to this day. Fear that I was too hairy only continued to grow. I was on the football team, and almost none of my other teammates had the amount of hair that I did. Internet video porn was just starting to pick up steam, and the images blasted nightly into my eye holes showed dudes who were completely hairless from the neck down. Girls in my class would even comment on my werewolf hands. I didn't even have particularly thick hair. It was just long and fine, and there was a lot of it. A day arrived when my actual pubic hair could be stretched longer than my dick, again 7.5 inches, and I knew that something had to go. How to shave balls and influence people wasn't part of our high school reading curriculum, so instead I learned by trial an electric trimmer snag.
We got a bleeder!
I tried everything, Nair, roll-on wax, and eventually laser. Depilatory seemed like a wonderful option until I realized that that same Drano-like chemicals designed to melt hair away had a similar effect on my dick. And the Nads lady always annoyed me for trying to hawk a product that espoused to be different than waxing.
Place your backing strip on.
Okay.
Now go over it firmly 3 times. Hold the skin tight and pull it off.
Great.
Quickly in the opposite direction of the hair growth.
Even though it was exactly the same. To be fair though, that woman used to be a koala. When I went in for my laser hair removal appointment, it turned out my doctor was the mom of one of my football player teammates. She told me I was like the 12th guy from the football team who'd come in this year. I laughed, secretly relieved. The funny thing is that all the while I was having these fits over my body hair, I was not having sex at all. Nowhere close to having it. So why did it really matter what my nipples, legs, ass, balls looked like? Maybe it wasn't about the others knowing. Maybe it was just the knowledge which I would keep to myself in silent confidence. Some people consider manscaping to be emasculating or weird, but most men shave their facial hair regularly, which itself came into being as part of a cultural zeitgeist and a fuck ton of advertising. I don't think that this is too much different. Once I started having sex, I realized that there are all sorts of practical applications to having your pubes look like that of an 8-year-old. Namely, not having your junk look like that of an 8-year-old. They say to keep your hair short if it's thinning. Well, this is kind of like that, except instead of your hair looking fuller, it's your dong. Trimming your pubic hair is an excellent way of letting what's important stand out. But there's a bigger reason for both men and women to trim their pubes. It's a courtesy for their partner. Because the last thing I want when I'm going down on a lady is to end up flossing with her vag hair, or worse, stopping the act to cough and shove my finger in the back of my throat while, playing pubic hair or popcorn kernel. If you're like me, you really have to, get in there when you're going down on someone. And all hair does is obstruct both the view of where I'm trying to go and lessen the sensation upon the genitals. It's like getting a massage with a pea coat on. Ultimately, of course, do what you want with your body, but I proudly manscape. After all, it is the most hydrodynamic way to swim through pussy. And that's what Ryan Lochte would do. Yeah. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please subscribe to the podcast. The Dirty is a new podcast I started where people come on and they either talk about compelling stories, maybe share opinions, or maybe it's just me sharing my own personal stories and opinions like this episode. And such as this episode, like this episode, comment, leave your thoughts below. Do you manscape? Why or why not? What do you think the pros and cons are? I am still here in Philly. I'm still loving it. We also have a phone number, which is 702 So Dirty, where you can share your own comments and we will play them. Go ahead, follow me at Eric Berry Comedy on the socials. Till next week, keep it dirty.